Hello, everybody. My name is Timothy Mitchell, and I am the Practical Printer. Digital printing for practical people. I have with me a guest, Andrew Pagelow. Andrew is the sales chief of VTX Tools, probably more specifically, well, you may know them, VTX Cutting and Routing Tools. Andrew, welcome to the Practical Printer. I'm glad I could have you here today.
Yeah, thanks, Timothy. I appreciate it. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. Where are you calling in from? Where are you located?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Marvelous.
Yeah,
An
specifically
epicenter
River
of American
West.
manufacturing and tool making. Wonderful
Mm-hmm.
city.
Yep.
And as it turns out, you happen to be in the manufacturing and tool making business. Tell me a little bit about VTX, yourself, and what you guys specialize in.
Sure. So VTX Tools offers high quality consumables for the wide format digital cutting industry. We offer blades, router bits, different types of cutting surfaces, conveyor belts, and we also offer um, service as well. So we offer conveyor belt installs, we offer preventative maintenance services, and we also offer table leveling services. So it's not only selling the blades and bits, it's service as well.
Fantastic. Now, you and I talked a little bit, about what we wanted to focus on because the show really has kind of a laser-like focus on a particular item, just to keep things succinct and to the point. And you have a very large portfolio, a lot of interesting things we could go over. And I asked you, I said, so what would you like to discuss? And you gave me a very what I thought was sort of an unusual selection, but then after we talked a little about it, it made complete sense why people should know about this. And they need to know about it if they're already in the business of trying to cut things, which I do at a primitive level. Okay, I've never been very sophisticated running the automated cutters like some of my coworkers were very, very good at it. But I can get it done, albeit slowly and, a bit clumsily. Tell me
Hmm.
a little bit about this mat that you have, what it does and why people should know about it.
Sure. So we offer a routing specific cutting mat called VTXtraGrip. You can find it on our
Okay.
website. It's also known as VTX Premium Grip.
All
But what
right.
this mat does is it helps hold items in place while routing. So one of the challenges in the industry is when an item is getting routed out, specifically like a small item that a router bit is going around and finishing the cut, the small item
Correct.
tends to move or shift. So what this mat does, and I have a tiny little sample of it here, but this
Okay.
prevents the material from shifting or slipping. It's a grippy mat. You may not be able to see it in the camera, but it does have perforations in it to allow for the most amount of airflow. So you
Right.
put
You don't
this
want to
right on.
eliminate your vacuum because that's one of the things holding it down.
Exactly.
But you're describing a small item in which now there's not enough surface area for the vacuum to hold it down well, and the friction from the router bit is causing it to move.
Yep. Yep. So the material tends to shift or slip. This completely prevents that, holds it nice and snug right in
Oh,
place, which in turn leads to a cleaner cut. Uh, if that material is shifting or slipping on you, that material is going to have like a little notch in it as it moves. The router bit hits uh, the when the item shifts, it's going to hit that router bit and cause a little defect in the item, and it also can snap your router bit. So that leads to more costs. So if
right.
anytime you can keep that item from moving and preventing it from shifting, it's going to lead to a better cut quality, and it's going to be not as hard on the router bit that's actually doing the routing.
Well, I have to say, that is a genius little mat, because everyone has all these specifications in their routers, right, about how precise they are and how accurate they are and how fast they are. But when you start printing a wide variety of materials, if a certain select amount of your materials are not going to be held down as cleanly as they should or securely as they should, then the consequence is going to be that all of your specification details have now been rendered kind of meaningless. Because if
Yep.
you're moving or shifting whatsoever, you're off. And
Hmm.
off is downtime, potential accidents, um, it loss of, like you mentioned, loss of bits, loss of material, having to
Hmm.
redo potentially a whole job over again because one little part of it went sideways. I would think your mat would be almost an invaluable accessory, like a mandatory accessory. And when you described it to me, I went, yeah, I remember going through all of that. It would have been very
Hmm.
nice to have one of these mats so that I can put these pieces down and I know that it. So what does it do? Is it like a tactile little grippiness? It just gives it a little stick to it that also allows for the vacuum to pass through?
Yeah, so it's just it's kind of a sticky type mat. It's made of a foam. When you rub your fingers against it, it is grippy, it is tacky. But I think the main thing with this grip mat, which differentiates it from other grip mats on the market, is
Sure.
the perforations in it because it just allows for the air to go completely right through the mats, through the holes. So just
Yeah,
it's
why
the
undermine
ultimate
the
hole
value
bound
of the
power.
vacuum?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Now, does it wear out, so to speak? Is it a consumable? Is it something you buy and then if you used every day you would replace over time?
Yes, it is a consumable item. Like I said, it is made of foam, so it's not the most durable mat on the market. But if as long as your operator, they're experienced, they don't cut into it too much. They only go in, set up the settings so that they only go into the mat a fraction of a millimeter. They can continue to use this mat over and over and over again. But eventually, it will wear out, and you do need to replace it.
Okay. How do people order them? Do they order them through a distributor or do they order them directly from you?
They order directly from us. You can find them on our website, VTXtools.com. It's under the underlayment tab at the top of our website, and it gives a lot of different options once you do find this product on our website. It gives you a lot of options for the sizes. It's 62-inch wide. That's the width we always sell it at. But you can buy it by the linear foot. You can buy it in pre-cut sections. Or for cost savings, you can buy it in a full 100-foot roll as well.
Okay. And as I understand it, I was kind of looking for it earlier. It's the VTX Premium Grip. Is that how it's described
That's
on the
correct.
website?
Yep.
Okay. And
Yep.
it's like you have it right there. It's kind of like a grayish color on the ad.
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly it.
All right. Well, that's a very cool product. I think that is exactly what I'm looking for in doing these shows is you're in the finishing business, and finishing is a category for sign and display industry, one that I believe is overlooked. Um, Lots of people talk about the media. The printers get a lot of attention, but then as soon as you have a print off the printer, my next question is, well, what are you going to do with it? You're still a long way from collecting your paycheck.
Hmm.
You have to
Yep.
make it into a something, and that's where finishing comes in. And people that are
Hmm.
good at finishing don't make mistakes because you've printed this thing, you did all the color work, you went it through the printer, you then brought it to the finishing, and then the finishing is where it goes south. It's like, oh no,
Yep.
I've got so much time and labor and material in this, I can't have it go south at finishing.
Yeah.
I'm this close. I'm this close to like presenting my finished job and getting paid.
Yep.
So I think it's an overlooked thing, and you obviously have a lot of solutions for people.
Yeah.
You're in
And
the
when
blade
I
and knife and mat business.
Yep. And when I exhibit at trade shows or do customer visits, one of the first questions I asked is, do you ever have any issues with material shifting or slipping while routing?
Yes.
And
My answer is yes.
99% of the
As
time,
an
it's
amateur
yes.
router operator, the answer is yes. It's yes.
Yep.
I can think of 4 or 5 occasions where I'm standing there helpless watching my work go in the trash. And I can't,
Hmm.
my first instinct, of course, is to do something stupid like, let's see if I can get my hand to hold that thing down while and then I'm looking around for something to do it with a piece. And then I'm debating, is it time to just pull the plug here and hit the emergency stop? You know? And so there's this sort of real-time horror of watching a project go completely in the garbage because
Yep.
it's moving. It's clearly going to
Yep.
move on me.
Hmm.
And once it moves a little, the whole thing is like, I'm not going to salvage this. How bad is it going to
Exactly.
be?
That's money down the drain.
Right. And that's a very dispiriting feeling in the digital printing business is to
Hmm.
lose it at the finishing. You're right at the finish line, right? It's like
Yep.
tripping like 60 feet from the end. So I, I want to thank you very much for coming on, Andrew. It's a great product. I think people should know about it. I'll make sure in the little video I put a link to your website. And hopefully, I'd love to have you on a regular basis to talk about your tools and your knives and a lot of other things because, again, finishing is overlooked. It is a critical part of workflow thinking. And whoever thinks workflow is going to address all the steps so that you don't have bottlenecks at any single point. You got all these people like, oh, I print this fast, but you know what? My finishing is half that fast. In reality, I could have bought a
Hmm.
much slower printer, you know.
You
And workflow is critical, and you're one of the key pieces of a successful workflow. Sharp knives, good router bits, and then these really cool mats, which I love those mats. So
yeah,
I'm in.
yeah. Yeah, I'd love to come back on your show. We have a lot to talk about.
I think so too. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you for being on the Practical Printer, and have a wonderful afternoon.
All right, thanks. You as well. Appreciate it.